We are in full-on damage control to try to save this second cutting of hay. As you saw in the last video, we had raked this, and then later in that afternoon, we got rain. It was a surprise storm that showed up out of nowhere. And then it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to the sound of thunder and a lot of rain. This is entirely drenched. And today we had some sun. Right now we're pretty sun challenged. Unfortunately, because this could have done a lot more drying today if we had gotten a lot more sun. But the top is kind of dry, but the underneath is really wet. This is one of those cases where a tedder really comes in handy to have, which we don't have one right now. We're trying to get by without one. But with a tedder, you can come over this and it just spreads it out everywhere where you have more surface area to dry it faster. We're going to rake it and basically flip it over, and we might have to do that quite a few times, and hopefully we don't get rain again. The longer this hay sits on the ground, and especially if it continues to get wet, the nutrient value decreases and the chances of it rotting also increase rapidly. So we need to try to get this as dry as quick as possible. Sometimes you just get caught with your hay down at the wrong time. If we lose this second baling of hay, the last cutting of the year, we're definitely not getting goats for this winter because we want to be able to feed the goats ourselves. It'll have to wait till spring. So hopefully Operation Save the Hay will be successful. We'll see. Sun is out really nice now. Maybe our hay will actually dry, and we even have a light breeze. We're still gonna have to probably keep raking it and turning it over and over, because whenever we rake those rows being all wet, it's kind of like a dough ball where it just turns the whole thing over. It doesn't really like spread it out. So I'm assuming we're probably gonna have to rake it a whole bunch of times to get it to dry throughout the day, maybe even tomorrow, we'll see. If you followed our channel through last fall and winter, you know that we had a lot of problems eradicating chicken mites, and we had tried numerous different things. And the one thing that seemed to work the best was the ivermectin, but we had to keep retreating with it for it to continue to be effective. The one thing that we have tried, and we've been using it for a while now, that seems to work the best, is using ag lime on the chicken coop floor. We just spread a little bit on the chicken coop floor every time we clean it, and you can't use like the pelletized lime. It has to be the ag lime, because the pelletized limes have these little pellets that the chickens could actually eat and could be very harmful to them. So if you're having a problem with chicken mites, it might be something that you want to try, because it's really worked great for us so far. Finally getting around to digging up the last row of potatoes, and as you can see, my helper is doing her job very well. have a lot of tomato picking to do this evening, and then I need to do some tomato processing. Also need to take care of the potatoes that I just dug up. And I think Glenn is doing some mowing, and then I think he's gonna flip that hay again and go from there. I tell you what, it is a nice day. I cannot believe it is already almost September.
Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
I'm gonna get to processing these tomatoes because I have a whole bunch back here that I've been ripening a little more, and probably most of those are ready to be turned into sauce. And of course now I have this big box that I just brought in, and I need to sort through this and see how many of those are ready. But I think instead of freezing these like I have been doing, I'm going to go ahead and start turning some of this into sauce. I am not de-seeding or de-skinning these. I'm just gonna decore them, blend them in the blender, and then boil them down. And we're gonna try that to see how we like it, because if we do like it that way, instead of going through the whole process of de-seeding and skinning, then it's gonna make everything so much easier.
Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
Apparently the hay is going to take longer to dry than we were hoping. So the plan tomorrow, I think, is going to be to flip it multiple times. And another problem with today is that half of the morning hours was really cloudy and it probably didn't dry much at all. So hopefully, it's supposed to be real sunny tomorrow, we can just constantly flip it all day long and get it to dry, and maybe the next day get it baled, because the longer it sits out there, the more chance we have of it getting hit by rain yet again. Maybe we can save it.